Welcome back to the DelicateDynamic podcast. Welcome here if you are new. This is episode 4 and I am your host, Daejhanae White. Today I'm bringing you a follow-up video on the Shanquella Robinson story. Thank you all so much for tuning into part 1, and I'm sorry for the previous microphone quality because it was a little trash. I'm not going to hold y'all. Let me know if it sounds better now. I have gotten that fixed. Let's go ahead and get into this update. This may be a lengthy video because more information and speculation has come forth. A new video from Shanquella surfaces on social media. Another video of Winter also attacking Shanquella is alleged to be out there, which shows her delivering the fatal attack. Shanquella's dad speaks out. An eerie coincidence happens, which includes Alysse, one of the participants of the trip. Her sister was murdered on October 28th, which is the same day they left for their trip. The FBI launches their investigation into her death. Rumors of Shanquella's money being stolen and potentially being drugged has surfaced. Lastly, the attacker was rumored to be a transgender woman, and T.S. Madison spoke out saying, "That was one of yours," meaning Daejhanae is not a trans woman. But regardless, T.S., I thought the trans fight included recognizing trans women as women. So why the separation now? So here's a little backstory of the Shanquella Robinson story if you are new here. Her story began going viral during the week of November 14th, 2022. Shanquella was a 25-year-old entrepreneur born on January 9th, 1997. Sadly, Shanquella wouldn't make it to her 26th birthday, coming up in less than 2 months because her life was taken at the hands of people she thought were her friends. Shanquella and 6 people who she thought were her friends, known as the Cabo 6 now, weird name, I don't know what that's about, Khalil Cooke, Nazeer Wiggins, Malik Dyer, Daejhanae Jackson, Winter Donovan, and Alysse Hyatt plan to take a trip to Cabo from October 28th to October 31st. In my previous video, I did call Alysse Alyssa, but I'm thinking it's Alysse Hyatt. Okay, if I'm incorrect, comment down below. Most of the people on the trip arrived on October 28th, and Nazeer Wiggins arrived early afternoon on October 29th. Things are a little weird with that as well. He's saying he arrived around 3, 4, I don't know. And then his tickets are actually saying he arrived around 12. And if it took an hour to get to the villa from the airport in Mexico, then he would have arrived around 1 p.m., no later than 2. There's a lot more questions than answers, but we'll get into that as well. It is said that Shanquella Robinson died on Saturday, October 29th at 3 p.m. The friends called back to the U.S. informing their mother, Salamandra Robinson, that Shanquella was ill and passed away from alcohol poisoning. Days later, news broke that Shanquella actually passed away from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. There are things and notes going around saying that her spine was severed, but on the death certificate, it actually says severe spinal cord injury, not severed spinal cord. Shortly after, a video surfaced of Shanquella being brutally assaulted in the villa by Daejhanae Jackson. This is said to be assault number 1. There is said to be another video out there with assault number 2. Check out this news clip.
Alicia, this happened about 2 weeks ago. Shanquella Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead.
It was supposed to be a fun, long weekend for 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson and her group of friends who went to Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays.
She told me they had a chef. They was getting ready to eat. They was eating tacos, something, salad or something they was eating. And I said, well, okay, I love you, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I never talked to my child again, and she never made it back home.
Robinson's mom, Salamandra, says within 24 hours of her daughter's arrival, she was dead. Figuring out how or why has only added to the family's nightmare. It started with a frantic call from Robinson's friends.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse. each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
It's when the family made calls to the FBI and Mexican authorities that they learned of another potential cause of death.
And the autopsy came back. They said it didn't have anything to do with alcohol. Say that she had been, she had a broken neck, and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten.
Salamandra says the entire group came back from Mexico, leaving her daughter's body there. Nearly 2 weeks and $6,000 later, her body is back home. But answers have been hard to come by.
You know, I know that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it.
Queen City News has spoken with officials at the U.S. State Department in Mexico who refute the claim that Robinson was murdered, saying the police's initial indication is that there was no clear evidence of foul play. Here in Charlotte, her family refuses to believe their daughter's death was an accident, and they vow to find the truth of what happened that night in Cabo.
She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her.
An official with the State Department told us they're helping the family obtain reports from authorities and recommend the family hires a private investigator and an attorney if they question the circumstances.
Now, according to Gerald over at the North Carolina Beat and Bernard Robinson, another video is out there which shows Winter Donovan also assaulting Shanquella, grabbing her neck and body slamming her. It is said that after that assault, Shanquella passed away. Now let's revisit the first fight video. Shanquella is seen being attacked by Daejhanae. She is told to fight back and she responds no. Some people are saying somebody else in the room responded no. I do feel like it was Shanquella saying no because she didn't want to fight back. You can blatantly see that in the video. She was being attacked. This was not a fair fight. This was not a one-on-one. This was not a fair square up. Daejhanae was attacking her. And she was nude in the video. Now, I won't play the video, but listen to this audio from the fight.
Look, can you at least fight back? No. At least something. At least fight back, something.
Get up, bro. Get up.
Yeah.
Now, also, a video from Shanquella's page surfaces showing her searching the villa for her friends. It's an eerie video. Check this out.
It's my friends for me because, y'all, it don't take that long to get naked. It don't take that long to get naked, hoes. Where y'all at? She told me I'm gonna keep it hot. You gonna keep it hot? What?
I'm gonna keep my hot business that I don't want to wear because it's cute as fuck.
They, what Go said, they croup.
Yeah. the one that's like mediocre is in my champions. I can't wear them.
So we got to hear Shanquella's voice. We got to hear the excitement in it. She seemed like she was ready for a good time. While most of her other friends gathered in a dimly lit room without her, it seemed to be that they were talking. You know how you walk into a room and it's like, you know, they was talking about you. Like it gets weird, awkward, silent. It just gave that kind of vibe. She made a joke. Nobody laughed at it. It seems like they changed the subject when she neared the room. It seems like her presence there was just unwanted, which is weird because rumors are saying that Shanquella is the one who actually paid for the villa. I'm not sure how true that is, but if that's the case, how can y'all shit on the host? I don't know, but let's go ahead. Did the attack happen Saturday and not Friday? So before last week, it was said that the fight actually happened on Friday, meaning that Shanquella passed away Friday or was passing away on Friday and officially passed away Saturday. Now, let's just revisit a few things because in the video, it looks bright. Where Daejhanae is attacking Shanquella, it looks brighter in the room. Like maybe the sun is coming up. It's early morning, maybe even early afternoon. I'm not sure. But in Shanquella's video, which would be Friday night because it was dark in there, they had arrived on Friday and she passed on Saturday. So this video from her had to come on Friday, right? If you look around, it looks dark in there. You look at what Daejhanae is wearing. She's wearing like a blue romper or outfit or something. And she seems to have a wig on or her hair is out. In the fight video, Daejhanae has either braids or a bonnet or something, and she seems to have on like a two-piece co-ward pajama type set. So it seems like this attack, when Daejhanae attacked Shanquella, it had to happen Saturday, early Saturday, right? Just take a look at the lighting, take a look at the clothing, and we can dissect that. Let me know down below what y'all think about that. Shanquella's father has spoken out over at the NC Beat. Let's go ahead and take a look. I wasn't too keen on an interviewer, but I think he's just passionate and thoroughly invested in this story, and he's seeking justice just like all of us. But let's take a look at his interview of Bernard Robinson, who is Shanquella's father.
I had to bring this father on. I have been in contact with this family since the day I posted the first story, when I spoke to him and I spoke to Miss Alamandra and I spoke to Shanquella's sister, who I will be doing an interview with on Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on Shanquella's dad, Mr. Bernard Robinson. How you doing, Mr. Robinson?
I'm holding through the grace of God and everybody prayers around this world, around this nation, who have been praying and just watched, who have been listening to and reading about what went on over there in Mexico, Cabo.
Yeah,
that's how I'm standing through everybody prayers and how they feel about this situation.
Yes, sir.
That's the only way I'm standing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I definitely want to say you do look good. And I see that, that God's grace and mercy is all in this. We're both Bible believing men, and we know that God can do anything but fail. And God has been in this case from the beginning. Even in the room, God has been he's been involved in this. He knew what was going to happen, and he knew that he, won't let those who are responsible get away with it. He's already working. And, to see that Shanquella not only, has had an impact on just Charlotte, but it's beyond Charlotte now. The world see how beautiful she was. The world see how she can slay hair. The world see how of a woman she carried herself. And just to see that some no good, low down, dirty dogs would do something like this to someone who was at the top, and to reduce her to a hashtag is very egregious, and it is disgusting, and justice will be served. Let's make that clear.
Oh yes,
Mr. Robinson. Yes. Yes. Justice will be served. I first want to give my condolences to you and to your entire family. I am so sorry that you all are going through this, and I continue to pray for you all, and people around the world continue to pray your strength, and that God will continue to touch this situation and will bring those who are responsible to justice fast, quick. We have been talking over the phone since I first reached out to you all. And you told me about, your daughter, and you told me about the lie of the alcohol poisoning. And you told me about what the autopsy said. And you told me about the pictures that you were shown of your daughter, and just how dirty, this murder was. Can you tell us a little bit about, what I don't want to call them friends, because they're not friends, but the people that she was over there with, what did they come back to North Carolina and tell your family, especially Khalil, who is, the best friend of your daughter? Can you just talk about how you found out about your daughter's death? And can you talk about the lie that they told?
Well, first, I was sitting at home on a Saturday, which was the 29th. It was like 7 or 8 p.m. and the phone rung. I'm sitting there looking at TV. So my mom said, I said, well, mom's calling. So I picked the phone up, and it wasn't sounding right. So Then she said, Shanquella gone. So, I'm saying gone, gone where, and she said, she dead. I said, dead how? And she said, alcohol poison. So when she said alcohol, I said, how'd you got alcohol poison? Where's she at? So she said, Mexico, Cabo. So, the phone just, my phone dropped and I just started crying. And then, I'm trying to figure out who she was over there with, and said she was over there with some friends that she went to school with, went to Salem with. So I said, you know of them? You know them? She said, I know of them. I just know she went to school with them. So, from there, my whole night was just trauma, man. I just cried all that night. Just cried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not knowing, how, over in Mexico, where she at or what,
Now,
right now,
go ahead, Dad.
it's just hard. It's just the point that alcohol poisoning. It didn't sound right, Right. I said, how you got over there, for the flu over there, I'm trying to, when she leave? So he said she left Friday, got there 8 o'clock. She said she talked to her on the phone, and they was sitting there drinking, eating tacos and salads. A chef came in, and from there she said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So from that point, that was Friday. So Saturday, so she telling me the whole story now. So from that point then, that's when she found her dead at 3 o'clock. Say her friend Khalil was on the phone talking to us, and she was, sick, throwing up. It wasn't feeling well. She took a shower, laid back down, and they called the Airbnb house. They supposed to send a medic out, doctor out to the house, and they had to pay $150 for the doctor to come. So when the doctor came, they had to look at her, try to put an IV in her arm, and said the IV popped out and she went into a seizure. That's what Khalil telling her mom's all this right here now. So
right.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm listening to the conversation. So I'm trying to figure out, well, why Khalil, didn't give you the phone or let you hear the doctor. Then right. One of them in the house, she was told, one of them told her she need to wire $5,000 over there so they can take her to the hospital or so she be able to get in the hospital. I said, $5,000 for what? I mean, she's got insurance. She always had insurance. Right. So from that point, that's it. So then all of a sudden, Monday came. Okay, now we getting together trying to figure out where she at. So she on the embassy, calling the embassy. They giving her the run around. I don't know too much about Mexico, none of that. So me and my brother was over my mom's house. So as I'm standing here talking to y'all right now, I'm just hurting all inside. So my mind is really on my daughter, but I'm sitting here telling what I know, what was told to me. So what I had to do, in which I know it wasn't but God that led me to her. So me and my brother got on that phone and started Googling all the funeral homes that was over in Mexico, Cabo. So we came up with funeral home Riviera funeral home over there. And first we called, a guy answered the phone. He didn't speak English. So we called back again, and another young lady answered the phone, and her name was Elizabeth. And from that point on, she said, I asked her, you have Shanquella Robinson over there? She said, yes, sir. Like, Miss Robinson, I'm sorry for your loss. And so from that point on, she said, Mr. Robinson, I'm going to stick with you until I get your daughter back to the States. So that lady was like an angel. So a lot of paperwork had to be done. Her mom sent the paperwork was already in the system. So I called her back. She said, yeah, I got the paperwork. I need a release form so I can release her body to you. And so we did that. And the bill came up and everything. So I wired the money over there, after I wired the money, they got the body. So did the paperwork, and it'll take a while for that paperwork to get done because they had to transfer everything over into English.
Yeah.
So she got back here last Thursday, around about 5 o'clock. So I'm sitting there in the funeral home. As soon as that door opened and that box came in there with her in it, man, you know, just cried like a baby.
Yeah.
Didn't even want to leave out the funeral home. My brother had to pull me out of there. You know, I'm sitting here, you know, looking at her, seeing, you know, a knot on her head, her eyes swole, she got a cut lip, and, you know, just, you know, that's no alcohol wasn't gonna do all that, you know. So I said, something not adding up right here. And so y'all gonna come back here to the States and bring her luggage back, sit right there in her mom's, in her sister's face, ate, told y'all story, how it happened, alcohol poisoning and all that. And then, you know, 2 or 3 days later, when the report came back, the lady told me, no, Mr. Brown, your daughter didn't die of no alcohol poisoning. She died, it was trauma to her neck and her spinal cord. It was broke. So that's when I just had it. I said, no. I said, baby girl, your daddy is not gonna let you die in vain. I will get justice for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get justice for you. So, you know, going forward, I didn't let up. I did not let up, not one bit. And I know the grace of God has got everybody out here who caring and loving and everything and giving me the strength that I need to stand on this. Because I've been crying. I've been having my moments. You know, I really can't sleep because that was my heart. You know, it's a big hole. You know, y'all done came back here. Y'all got kids. I think some of you all got little kids from what I heard. I don't be on Facebook or social media or Twitter, all that. I don't that's not my style.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a person. I'm just laid back in the back scene. But all at the same time, her father has been here all along. Her whole 25 years she's been on this earth.
Yeah.
It's been her dad and all her friends who know me would tell you. Her dad.
Yeah.
Her dad. And I know for a fact, I know she probably called out for her dad. And for her to go out here and suffer like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, for her to suffer the way y'all did, you know, to beat on her, because she's not a fighter. She's not a fighter at all.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a shame, you know, for y'all men to be sitting in the room, the video I saw.
Yeah.
For y'all men to be sitting in that room and y'all let this go on, ain't do nothing. And Khalil, you supposed to be her best friend for 5 years. 5 years.
Friend. Now I want to.
Y'all supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
Friends just don't do that.
Yeah.
Not at all. You know.
Yeah.
Do y'all? You know, I understand y'all parents. You know, your parents ain't even reached out to me, or I don't know if you reached out to her mom or not, but your parents ain't reached out to me. You all ain't reached out to me. So, you know, I say something ain't adding up right here. But I just ask God to give me the strength and bring me justice. Show me what really happened over there, Lord. That's all I ask. You know, I'm not perfect, but I know definitely where my help comes from.
Yes.
I know definitely where my help comes from.
Yeah.
And God has been moving. He's been moving.
Yeah.
And Gerald, the way God moved in you, when you say you called that Monday morning, I know I had prayed, say pray, always pray. And it's just how everything just going, it's just everything just coming. The cover just been pulled off, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm still hurting. I mean, like I said, I'm sitting here hurting, talking about this as I'm hurting right now, knowing in 2 days, you know, I got to bury her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And y'all then came back here, then shut down your Facebook pages. You know, you're not talking no more like you was before you left. So what you know, why you hiding? You know, just tell the truth.
Just tell the truth.
Just tell the truth.
Mr. Robinson, I want to.
You got a father here that won't even be, you know, you got a father here now, you know, won't even be a granddaddy. I can't even walk her down the, can't even walk her down the aisle.
Yeah.
Can't even hear a voice. Can't hear her say daddy. You know.
Yeah.
You know, she gone.
Yeah.
She gone.
Yeah.
And y'all took that from me. Y'all took that from me. And Khalil, I know she told you about her dad. I know she did. You got a dad. You know, Y'all got dads and a mother that I know of, you know.
Yeah.
They can look at you all. Y'all can have a conversation. I can't have no conversation no more. It's gone.
Yeah.
So I had to come on here and, you know, speak my heart and speak my mind. You know, I'm not a deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
Anybody who knew me, all my daughter friends, know what type of dad I was.
Yeah. That's what I want you to do. And I know me and you talked, and we talked about having an interview. And I know we talked about, you said, Jerome will give you one first because you've been working on it. And I just want to thank you because the people need to hear from you. These I'm gonna call them murderers. I don't care what nobody else call them, Mr. Robinson. I'm gonna call them what they are, my opinion, because I feel like that y'all knew what was going on and you still didn't say nothing. Now the problem I have is that Khalil came back, brought your daughter's luggage to the house, had dinner, and sat in y'all family's face and told y'all that Shanquella died from alcohol poisoning. And then when I called you about the video, you didn't even know anything about the video till I called you and told you about the video, and I sent it to you. And you know, now that the video is out, it definitely confirms what you were saying all along about, you know, this alcohol poisoning doesn't put a knot on your head. It doesn't swell your eyes. It doesn't bust your lip. It don't do any of that. And I know that that's one of the parts that you can't even fathom of how this man can come to your family's face and tell y'all a lie like that. Now, I spoke with Miss Salamandra. I spoke with Miss Robinson, and she had told me that Khalil had been coming back over to the house. He was coming around every day. Did he ever call you? Did he ever reach out to you personally and tell you, you know, what happened or any of that?
No, Khalil never called whatsoever. You know, from what his mom was telling me, you know, he'll come over to the house. I guess he was coming over to see what kind of information they knew. But once I found the information out, that's how they found the information, was through me, that she had a broken neck and a broken spinal cord trauma.
Right.
That's how they got the information, was through me. And then once they came, when I called and sent what happened, then he was over there. Then all of a sudden, from what they told me, he got all sick and wasn't feeling good. And say his aunt was with him or his mama was with him. And he wanted to leave. And when he left, they ain't heard no more from him, you know. So, and then when I saw the video, for y'all to beat her, knowing she's not a fighter, for y'all to, I don't know if y'all woke up out of her sleep, to beat her naked like that. Well, while she was naked, you mean to sit in that room and watch her, that girl hit on her like that while she was naked. You know, I mean,
it's
the men in the room. Wait, I mean, do y'all have sisters? You know, do y'all have a mother? What if someone show y'all the video like that? A man, someone beating on your mother or beating on your sister naked. How would you feel? And she's not even defending herself because she's not a fighter. You're already bigger than her. She ain't petite, no way no more than about 120, 125 pounds. That's not her style. Her style is not a fighter. Her style is not a fighter. She wasn't raised like that.
Yeah.
She wasn't raised like that. She was raised to have fun and treat people like she wanted to be treated. Laugh. Care for others. And y'all want to take her over there out of her comfort zone and do her that way when she thinking she going over there to have fun. And y'all seen that, to me, it was a setup. Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me as well.
That's the grace of God. Yeah. I'm gonna get justice. She's not gonna die, and it would not die in vain.
No.
I'm gonna get justice. I'm gonna get justice.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are going to get justice. You are going to get justice. Shanquella is going to get justice. Your entire family is going to get justice. Now, Mr. Bernard, Friday, they are over in Mexico. Saturday, as you know, as you talked about earlier, Khalil calls and he says that Shanquella is not feeling good. She's been throwing up and she's resting. And then he calls back because Salamandra told me that, you know, she told him, you know, well, just, you know, keep an eye on her, you know, just keep me updated on what's going on. And then he calls back and says that they are trying to resuscitate her. And you're trying to understand, well, what's going on? And then he comes up with this alcohol poisoning bullshit, you know. Now, and I understand that the FBI is now investigating. You have been in contact, your entire family has been in contact with the FBI. But have you learned anything as far as the Mexican police seeing any type of bruises on her when they got there? You know, did the medics observe anything, you know, different, you know, about her when they got there for them to, you know, allow these people to leave a room, you know, after saying that she had alcohol poisoning and then tending to her body and it's obvious signs that, you know, she was beat? Have you learned anything? I mean, has any information been communicated to you that the Mexican authorities or the doctor or the medics over there saw any of those signs on her?
No, as right now, I'm just waiting on for all that information to come back to me.
Yeah, you're waiting for all that information.
Waiting all that information to come back to me.
Right.
From what I saw her, when I saw her in that cat, when I saw her laying there when they rolled her in the funeral home, I mean, you see, we saw the bruises.
Right.
We saw the bruises.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was in her, you know, pajamas, flannel pajamas, pants, and a shirt. So I don't know if they put that on her or who put that on her, you know. But I don't just see how can y'all sleep. I don't see how all of y'all can sleep. I don't see how can all of y'all go about and do y'all daily duties and sit there knowing what y'all did.
Yeah.
Knowing what y'all did.
Right.
You
now,
know?
I understand, Mr. Bernard, that you're waiting for more information as it relates to that. Now, the death certificate stated, now the video shows that there was a fight in the bedroom. It's early morning outside if you look at the, you know, outside in the video. But the death certificate stated that she was found in the living room. But the video shows that a fight was inside the bedroom, and I do know, and I communicated with you from a source that there is a second video, because obviously, you know, Shanquella is on the ground with her head down. So, I mean, you know, you could tell that she's still alive. But then other information that we learned today about Winter Donovan grabbing her around her neck and slamming her and her not getting back up. There is a second video that is out there. And this information came directly from someone who is friends with Daejhanae's mother, and this information was communicated because people were upset about the fact that only one angle is being showed, and that is Daejhanae assaulting your daughter. This was not a fight. This was a brutal assault because your daughter was not fighting back. And in that video, at the end, Khalil had told Shanquella's sister and Miss Salamandra that he was not there when all of this happened, after the fact that they learned from talks from those that was there that there was a fight, that he was not in the room. But the video clearly shows him to the left. I mean, you've never seen Khalil, have you, Mr. Bernard?
No, never seen Khalil.
Right.
Only thing I saw is pictures of all of them.
Yeah, right.
I saw pictures of all of them.
Yeah.
You know, I heard the same thing you heard. There's a video out there.
Yeah.
That you know, she picked up by the neck and slammed on the ground, and once they slammed her, she didn't get back up. Did not get back up. So I guess that slam back there must have broke her neck and her spinal cord.
Do you need a second, Mr. Bernard? I can turn this off for a minute.
Nah, man, go ahead. We can go through this. We can go through this.
Yes, sir. I know this is. I'm sorry, this y'all. This is very, very, very difficult.
I really don't know how much I love my daughter. Y'all don't really don't know. Y'all don't know what y'all done done to me. Y'all don't know how, you know, the hole that y'all done put in me. Really don't know. Serious, you know. Y'all can just come back here and deal with y'all did. And leave her there. Leave her there. And then just leave her there. And then the maid had to find her from what I'm hearing, you know. You know, y'all don't understand how much of pain my daughter was in, sitting there with a broke neck or a spinal cord, you know. And then I'm hearing, I don't know, Nazeer or whatever. He came to the house, you know. So he was the last one. Something about he was the last one. He was the last one about her breathing or something, you know. He playing soft music and rubbing her head. Really? All of y'all could have got her help. All of y'all. But y'all chose not to.
Exactly. Who the freak comes from an airport, they came from an airport straight into there and just rub her head playing soft music and claiming he's doing CPR. And then, you know, to get online and try to run to the world that you are so innocent. The only innocent person and the only victim in this case is Mr. Bernard's daughter. And that's Shanquella Robinson. Ain't nobody else a damn victim. And I wish people would stop getting online talking about this Nazeer dude got there. And then this is the problem that I have. And from my understanding, Mr. Bernard, did you watch any of his video?
Who was video?
Nazeer's. Did you watch any of Nazeer's video?
Yeah, I watched a little bit how he's saying this and that, saying that. Really? Really?
And the problem, that I have is I don't.
You came there and you saw her. You should have got help. If you was her friend, you ain't seen her in 9 years, and you came in that house. Ain't no way you gonna sit here and you know you saw the bruises. You saw the bruises. You came in the house. You want to sit there and say you played music and rub her head, and then she took a last breath, you left? You saw the music. I mean, come on, man, really? You should have came in that house. Hey, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all stand down here. Y'all stand down here. Y'all not going back. Y'all not back going to the United States.
Exactly. He should have.
I didn't came in here and saw these bruises. Y'all didn't hurt this girl. No. You know.
Exactly. That is the problem.
Y'all ever thought that she got a mother and a father? Got people back here in the States that love her and care about her, especially her daddy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then y'all can't even call. You come to the house, over to her sister's house, and try to say, Miss Robinson, do you have Mr. Robinson's phone number? Can we call him and give him my condolences? No. Not at all. Y'all didn't even open your mouth. Ain't doing that at all. Especially you, Khalil. Even your parents. Y'all parents ain't reached out.
Dirty.
Your parents ain't even reached out. You know, none, you know, me or her mom. Not that I know her, but I know your parents ain't reached out to me. You know, they still got y'all. They still got y'all. I don't have mine. She gone. Y'all took her away from me. She can't talk for herself. She can't talk for herself, but her daddy is gonna talk. Her daddy gonna stand strong through the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
God gonna give me the strength that I need. Yes. And I know everybody out there who got a relationship with God gonna pray that I get the strength to stand where I need to stand.
Yes, sir.
Because my daughter would not die in vain.
Yes, sir.
She would not die in vain.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give her justice.
She's gonna get justice.
She didn't have to go through this. She did not have to go through this.
She did not have to go through this. Shanquella did not deserve this. She did not deserve this. I can't wrap my head around the fact that they left Mexico, came back to the United States, and told this family that Shanquella died from alcohol poisoning, when in the damn phones that y'all was carrying had the video that we just saw. Y'all knew a fight happened. Y'all knew, and you know who killed Shanquella.
And you told her mama. Y'all sit right there and told her mama that it wasn't no altercation.
That it was no.
Y'all told her mama and her sister right there in their face it wasn't no altercation in that house. That's exactly what y'all said. That's exactly what y'all said.
Now,
in a couple of days, I will have all y'all statements.
Sure is.
All y'all statements, what y'all said.
The FBI is on them left and right. So if you think you're hiding at your mama house, Daejhanae, if you think you're hiding Khalil, if you think you're hiding Winnie, if you think you're hiding Nazeer, if you think you're hiding Alysse, the FBI is on you. And you're going to have to get into the interrogation room and you're going to have to tell what happened. And the fact that y'all still to this day ain't even tried to call this family and say, Miss Robinson, Mr. Robinson, I lied. I was scared. I ain't know what to do. We should have broke it up. I ain't know what to do. And for every parent that's sitting up here and you know your child done killed somebody, you should be ashamed of yourself. That you will harbor a fugitive. That you would try to hide your child. That you wouldn't even reach out to a mother, the mother, father, the father. Shanquella ain't hurt nobody. Everybody loved her. Just because y'all had hate and bitter in your heart, you didn't have to take out what you was going through in your anger and your hatred and your jealousy and your envy on her. You're ugly on the outside and you're ugly on the inside. And you ain't at all worthy to take a dog to the dog pound, let alone call yourselves some type of human with a heart. Y'all ain't shit. I'm sorry, Mr. Bernard, but you know how we talk on the phone. So you know you are, you know me. But
say what you mean.
Mr. Bernard, I am so angry. I'm so angry. I'm so upset. I'm so outraged at the fact that these Judases left your daughter for dead. And then you got Nazeer coming on. Let me ask you this. The part that you did here, Mr. Bernard, did you even believe any of what he said, what he was saying?
Not at all.
Not at all.
If you were there, you should have did more than what you did. Should have did more than what you did. Because trust and believe me, every last one of y'all would have stayed there at that hospital down there with my daughter. I would have made sure y'all got back here. You wouldn't have been staying in no Mexico.
Hello?
You would have got back here. You would not have stayed down there.
Hello?
That would have meant a whole lot to me, knowing that you stayed down there with my daughter till I got there or we got there. We all would have been getting back on that plane together. But y'all didn't do that. Y'all left her. Y'all left her there. Y'all left her there.
So dirty and so low down that this father and his brother had to get online and find funeral homes and find out how to get in contact. Y'all left them searching. Y'all left them searching how to find their daughter. This man don't know anything about Mexico. Just imagine being a mother and a father, and your child is over in another country and dead, and you got to get on Google. What if it wasn't for Google? Y'all dirty. You left this man searching for his baby's body. You left this man trying to find out where his daughter was because he couldn't get in contact with her because she was dead because y'all beat her. Because y'all beat her. How was he supposed to find out? His only connection to her. He ain't have it no more. And y'all, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I wired that money. I wired that money over there. It wasn't 6,000. I wired that money. It was almost 7,000. I wired that money.
And not one of them tried to ask, did they need help?
I wired that money.
Didn't ask, do you need money? Didn't ask nothing. Didn't ask nothing.
You know.
Nothing.
I don't want no GoFundMe page. None of that. I wired that money.
Nothing. Mr. Bernard.
Her funeral is paid for.
Yes, it is paid for.
And her funeral is paid for. For me to bury her in the next 2 days.
And let me, while we're talking about her funeral, let me say this. Shanquella's funeral is this Saturday. Okay, it is this Saturday, November the 19th. The wait will be 11 to 12, and the funeral is from 12 to 1 at Macedonia Baptist Church, 1300 Hatteras Avenue, Charlotte. Let me say that again. Her funeral is this Saturday, November 19th. Charlotte, show up. Show up. Stand with this family. Show up. Show up. It's Saturday, November 19th, from 11 to 12 is the viewing, and the funeral is from 12 to 1, Macedonia Baptist Church, 1300 Hatteras Avenue in Charlotte. Mr. Bernard, Khalil brought the girl that was in the video assaulting your daughter and another girl to the house. And Shanquella's sister, has stated that now let me ask you this before I get to this. Had you, before the autopsy came back, had you heard that there was a fight or that an altercation was going on over there before you found out everything now that you know now?
Yeah, her friend, my daughter's friend did call me who had my number, who know how much I care about my daughter.
Right.
They did call and say it was a fight in the house, but they wasn't sure. But then the alcohol story came out.
Right.
So when the alcohol story came out, okay, my mind got to wonder who is true, who's true on what. So
right. So once
I just asked God, I said, God, I pray that you give me justice. I asked God to, I pray. I said, God, just let me know what really happened over there.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the covers
and
show me. Because she gone now, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
She gone. But show me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Where I can stand for justice for her, Lord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
and that's when you came in, and that's for some kind of reason you came in the picture. You came in the picture. I kept praying. And God began to move and start moving in his time and start unraveling stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is where we at now.
Yeah. Mr. Bernard, so you had heard about the fight. You heard there was a fight. So Khalil had brought Daejhanae, the girl in the video that we see attacking your daughter, and he brought another girl, Winter Donovan, over to the house. And that's when they were asked about the altercation. But they denied the altercation, even though one of them, who we now know, Daejhanae Jackson, was in a video assaulting her, assaulting your daughter Shanquella, had the nerve to lie.
Mr. Robinson goes on to say that Shanquella wasn't even a heavy drinker. All the people that went on the trip went under the radar after those autopsy reports surfaced. Now, again, a maid found Shanquella sitting up in a chair or in a bed or something with flannel pants and a top on. But last we seen in the video, she was nude, you know. Did the people at the villa, you know, the concierge or the staff there dress her? Or did the friends dress her before leaving her there? I don't know about that. But let's go ahead and check out the rest of the dad's interview.
Mr. Bernard, have you been told who found Shanquella? I mean, were they still in the room, like, or did they leave her? Because, you know, of course, there was a rumor going around that a maid had found her, what have you. Have you been told how she was found? Were they in the room? Did they leave after the medics got there? And I mean, and they came back later. Have you been told of how she was discovered?
When I was told, the maid said they found her sitting up in the chair or either sitting up in the bed. Sitting up in the bed or sitting in the chair with a broke neck and a spinal cord.
Dead? What?
She died at 3 p.m. Nazeer, you said you arrived at that house on that video, you said, at 3:30 something. So if you arrived there, sir, if you arrived there, it should have been 12:30 or 12:45. You got there at that house. So evidently she had to be alive when you were there. So in that scenario, you saw the condition that she was in and you saw the bruises that she was, you know, on her. You should have called the medics, or somebody should have called all of y'all. Y'all could have carried her. She ain't about 120 pounds, 125 pounds. But y'all chose not to. Y'all chose to get that thing, got out of there and got her suitcase. And for what our statement says, one of y'all called a taxi cab and went to an airport hotel. Now, I don't know how true all this is, but that's what I'm hearing. And one of you called back to the States and asked somebody what to do.
It's true.
One of you all called back, y'all panicked, and one of y'all asked what to do.
Wow.
You know,
so you left her and the maid found her. Because I was trying to figure out, how did she get from the bedroom to the living room where she was found? Y'all drug her from the bedroom to the living room. I mean, I'm just trying to understand. And this Nazeer guy, he told me on the phone call, Mr. Bernard, that me and him had before he went live the other night, and I played it on here. He said that he got there at 2:16. Then he came back on the live and said he got there 3 p.m. something. And then he said he was about 4:26. He was by the pool saying, "Quella, get up." So when you got there and you started CPR, and the death certificate and the autopsy say she died 15 minutes after her injury, which was at 3 p.m. So that means you did CPR on her and left her where she was. And then you went by the pool and said, "Hey, Quella, get up," knowing she was dead. I mean, but the thing about it is, he's a compulsive liar, Mr. Bernard, and he can't be trusted. And I dissected the video, and I proved that Nazeer Wiggins is a liar, and he is as much responsible and guilty as the rest of them, and they need to be held accountable. Now,
I mean, if you say he did CPR, then they say it was a medic in the house. So that medic don't know how to do CPR.
That's
you know.
It. Hello.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Bernard, one last question. The FBI is now involved. They have revoked their passport, so they can't flee. what is the FBI telling you? I know you don't have to go much into detail, but is there anything that you can share with us that they are telling you, other than that they are investigating it? Have they told you? Have they spoken to anyone? I do know that they have communicated with us that if there's anyone that they are investigating it, and that if there is anyone who has information, whether it be photos, whether it be text message between any of them or anyone admitting anything or saying anything, photos, and you have information, please contact the FBI. Doesn't matter what state you're in, whether you're in Connecticut or you're in Charlotte, contact the FBI and they will route your tip to the appropriate people. Is there anything that you can tell us about the FBI on investigating this that you may be able to share?
No, I don't know nothing. I'm just waiting on them.
Yes,
I'm in the blind just like everybody else in the blind. I just know God is moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, He's moving at His own time. And I walk by faith, not by sight.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
As I say that,
come on now.
As I say that, what I say, justice will be done for her.
Yes.
So a few other things that I noted after returning, Khalil visited the mom. It said that he had dinner with her. He went there several days, even 1 or 2 days. He took Winter and Daejhanae to visit. They all stuck to the story of Shanquella had alcohol poisoning. So one time that Khalil visited, he was at the house. The mom received a phone call and she was told, hey, here are the results of the autopsy. Shanquella did not die from alcohol poisoning. She died from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. So with that being said, again, Khalil is in the room when Salamandra finds this out. And all of a sudden, they ask him, they confront him, hey, did anything happen out there? What happened? What happened? He sticks to his story. He says she wasn't attacked. There wasn't no fight. There wasn't any altercation. So with that, he then turns and feels sick, right? And after he, quote unquote, feels sick, I bet you he does, because you know that you left your friend there to die. You know that you were, if not immediately directly involved, allegedly, in her murder, that you participated in some form of fashion, okay? Allegedly, right? For legal reasons. So with that, he feels sick and he never comes back. After visiting the mom 2, 3, 4 days in a row, now all of a sudden he feels sick and he never returns. He doesn't answer his phone anymore. Like, it's just all weird. Now, if Nazeer arrives to a sick Shanquella, there was said that he had stories up on his social media when he first got there. And I don't know if he was going to the pool or something like that, but he was recording himself. And I guess in the background, he's like, Shanquella, get up, get up. And with that, it's like, it rubs me the wrong way. It really bothers my spirit to know that you were out there, I guess, getting in the pool or whatever you were doing down there. And you were telling Shanquella to get up in your video, and it is alleged that she was possibly deceased, or at least out of it, sick, ill. So were you rubbing her head and playing Summer Walker, or were you ready to turn up and by the pool? Like, which one was it? And if you saw your friend wasn't responding, she was unresponsive and this, that, and the third, why not immediately get help? And all the rumors of him, distributing CPR, and it's just a lot, okay? And it's again, more questions than answers at this point. But anywho, my next thing is, if, you arrive to a sick Shanquella, then why did a maid have to discover her, right? And why is concierge stating that a call was made from the group of the group of friends asking for help, and no mention of a maid? I'm wanting more answers from the villa as well. Let's briefly revisit his live, because upon listening, it just seemed like he was more worried about missing fun rather than his friend dying. And I know two things can exist at once. You can be disappointed because this was around your birthday. This was a week after his birthday, I believe. But this was around your birthday and you was there to celebrate and turn up. You can be disappointed. But I'm just saying, for me personally, if my friend passed away in my presence, I don't think I would give a fuck about missing out on a chef that came and cooked, riding on ATVs, drinking, smoking, swimming, turning up. I don't care about that. Like, the only thing I would be worried about is what the fuck happened to my friends. If I'm the quote unquote innocent one who didn't get there until after everything happened, now I'm questioning everybody. I want smoke with everybody, you know? That's just me. And I understand people grieve differently, but it just doesn't sit right with me. Let's check out a few clips from his live. Thank you to Lovely T.
Around 3:26, I instantly, as soon as I go in, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart and hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking. So we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting till the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Quilla, I see she chilling, I put her on her side. I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, that Quilla get up. So I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do. ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs, I missed everything. Anyways, fuck that. So I'm like, damn, I'm thinking, Quilla, let's get up. I say that in the video. Everybody can hear it. Everybody that know me heard me say this shit. That was my first video when I got there, or second, because I made a video of me pulling up to the villa. But he was cutting up the guy. I tried to get the timestamp for y'all, but that's not going to work. So I guess the real FBI or whatever had to put those right timelines together. But I'm going to start with the NC beat. That faggot is so stupid and got y'all believing everything that's wrong. I was not there till the next day. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything. I went in there and told her it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as. I didn't leave her side. I cut on soft music. Summer Walker rubbing her head till the nurse came in. Nobody even talked about the nurse. Nobody even said a nurse came. None of this stuff. So I'm really not understanding where this story is coming from and why it's out here like this, because it's wrong. It's wrong. And for y'all to be attacking me, an innocent soul, like, I'm really innocent as fuck. I went there to enjoy my birthday. And to really just goddamn have fun. I didn't have not 1 second of fun. I didn't take one shot, didn't smoke one blunt, didn't do anything. I went straight to Quilla. She was not found dead. She was found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive. She was unresponsive. I tried to get her to talk to me and all that, but it was none of that. There was none of that going on. Oh shit. Yeah, but other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye, and that's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass, what's going on? Like, could they know? Man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we was 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Damn, 51 questions. Bro, why is y'all talking about boys that y'all kill y'all friend? I wasn't there. I don't have those answers for you from Friday to 3 o'clock when I got to Cabo. I just don't have them answers. I posted my flight itinerary. When I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all fucking the real tickets if I could even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video, I could show the video, it's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside by the pool, saying, Shanquella, get up, let's go, we got stuff to do. Let's go have fun. There was no fun in that. There was no fun in that. There was nothing good coming from that, man. I went in there with my bag, put it down, went to the game room, went to the living room, stayed there. Worst time of my life. And now y'all on here trying to say I killed her. Me, the nigga that got there a day late. A day late. The nigga y'all didn't see in the video. I have 1,030,000 tattoos. Do I sound like I was in that video? Go listen to it again. Do you hear my voice in that video? Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is really stupid. The bitches is stupid. The old ladies, all of y'all are stupid. I don't care who's after me because I have all my timestamps. I've been real close and cordial with everybody who really means something. So everybody else, this was just to give y'all some comfort. Because I'm not doing it no more. I'm not responding to nothing else. And all the death threats, I can go with y'all move. Everybody. I turn me to a pack. All that shit y'all was talking, y'all just talking out your ass out of hurt because y'all listening to social media. Social media. Of course, my story is going to be different because I got there a day late. I can only tell you what I know from 3:30 till Sunday when I left. That's all I can do. I really can't give nobody no other answer from Friday because they didn't tell me. I didn't go in there, sit down and make no alibi with nobody. I didn't know nothing. They didn't tell me nothing. Cross my heart and hope to die on this Bible right here. I don't know nothing. I didn't sit and make no alibi. I didn't even have time. I got there an hour later. The nurse came in the door. The nurse came in the door. Tried to help Quilla, tried to put some salines in her, but her energy, she didn't have no electrolytes. Her oxygen was low, so she couldn't find them. Y'all don't understand what I went through. Y'all don't understand. Y'all won't understand. So y'all keep posting my address and all that shit. Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun. Y'all know y'all hurting yourself. Y'all not hurting me. I'm not bothered by this because I know the truth. Me and God know the truth. Me getting on this internet, and I cut the comments off because I know y'all being mad, what's the word? Insensitive. So I ain't even finna go back and forth on this shit with nobody. I tried to go live with the NC Beat nigga. He swear he know the time. She been to Mexico and stuff before, so he knows how everything goes. But Instagram and everything keep timestamps. Everything is in my archive. Everything else say you're gonna have people watching my page when I go live. That's cool. But you're a loser. You're really a loser for trying to do this to me. You don't even know the full story. What else I gotta say? I really think that's it. I'm really not giving y'all too much because that's all I had to say. Like, I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know about no video. I didn't know about none of that. Like, I didn't know about none of that. And I wouldn't sit here and lie to nobody. Like, they already knew not to tell me because the person that I am was not letting it happen. Everybody was fighting me right there. We all banging it out. Because what is y'all doing? 2,000 miles away from home, from family, from safety, from rules and regulations you know. Now you in a different state, putting your lives at risk and jeopardy and mine. Now I walked into something stupid. Now I'm looking like a bad guy. I'm just gonna leave it right here. I really don't have too much more to say. Y'all either gonna believe me or y'all not. Run with what y'all want, screen record it, save it, watch it over, interpret it, see if I was sincere, really genuine. But I'm tired, I'm fed up, I haven't slept, I don't know. I had to look over my shoulder because I don't know who's back there. Like, this shit is stupid. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. And I'm not even going to address the tough guys, man. It's nothing to talk about. I'm innocent. If you want to make a move off of impulse and how you feeling because of the internet, that's cool. What else? But when the truth come out, I really don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Y'all can really go on about y'all day, y'all life. We ain't got to talk, be cool. You feel how you feel because that's the information you was given. I respect it, but I can't respect you. That's because if you knew me, you know that's not me. That's not my heart. My heart's so pure. I'm not computational. I would try to end everything before it gets to something like that. Come on, bro. You don't do that 2,000 miles away from your house, bro. You don't do that. You don't do that. I have the most respect for Miss Robinson, Quilla, everybody. Like, y'all welcome me with open arms. Listen, heard me out. All of that. I didn't feel like anything was a problem. I respect that, and I want you to get justice for your daughter. I want everybody to get justice. I want everybody to stop hurting. Don't nobody deserve that, especially not to die 2,000 miles away from your family.
Now, Nazeer Wiggins' flight itinerary is also saying that he arrived earlier than what he stated in his live. Now, maybe he should pick up his phone for a lawyer and not to record live streams, because it seems as if his story is a contradiction and he's burying himself. Like, you know, it's not helping him. It's actually hurting him and just raising more questions. That's just my thoughts on that. Now, Kyrie Irving actually donated $65,000 to the family's GoFundMe. I believe he did 2 transactions, one for $50,000 and one for $15,000. I thought that was a nice gesture. And this is the type of story that needs to go viral. Not him watching a documentary that is sold on Amazon, who should actually be punished for selling such a documentary instead of people who watch it. But that's just my thoughts. Now, the FBI finally launched their investigation into Shanquella Robinson's death after it went viral and videos surfaced. And I'm super excited that they opened up this investigation because it seems like we're getting closer to justice. Check out this news clip.
Breaking news just into our newsroom within the past hour. We're learning that the Charlotte FBI field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation in Cabo, Mexico back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about Shanquella Robinson's mysterious death last week. As anchor Morgan Francis reports, police investigating the case are sharing what they've discovered so far.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shanquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed 2 friends at the villa in Cabo who said Shanquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The same story her family says they told them.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse.
It wasn't until her autopsy came back that Mexican police discovered she had a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which is instability in the uppermost vertebrae. They also didn't see this video showing Robinson get violently assaulted until Wednesday. For that reason, their investigation is still open and they're looking into her death.
There's a huge financial incentive to keep Cabo open and to keep people feeling safe. So to the extent they can find, prosecute, incarcerate the people that did this, in my opinion, they're going to try to do it.
Kurt Kearns is an international attorney with experience litigating international crimes and investigations. Some of what he has to say might not be the most promising news.
It's a sovereign state. So that's the first misunderstanding a lot of people have, is that, hey, man, if I'm an American and I'm in trouble somewhere, boy, they'll come to my rescue. And the reality is, not unless there's a really big interest internationally in coming to your rescue, because they will not upset international relations with a sovereign nation just to help out.
The police officer investigating the case tells Queen City News if they find evidence that leads to an arrest, they have authority to bring the group back to Mexico and, quote, they will have to answer to Mexican law. While the FBI and U.S. State Department say it's not their jurisdiction, it doesn't mean they can't investigate either.
Upon invitation, FBI can come in and assist. Upon, invitation, the State Department can get more and more involved, but it's only upon invitation, i.e., do they want us there?
That was Morgan Francis reporting. Police again are urging anyone with information to contact the local FBI office, and they will relay that information on to Mexican authorities.
I want to move into this eerie coincidence of Alysse Hyatt's sister actually being murdered on October 28th, which will be the same day that the group departed for their trip. Check out this video from Nosy Bystanders.
We're back, and now the story gets even more confusing. This young lady right here happens to be Anita Hyatt, and this is Demetrius Hill. And Anita Hyatt is the older sister of Alysse Hyatt, who went on that trip with Shanquella. Now, in the early morning hours of October 28th at 1 a.m., Demetrius murdered Anita. If you're curious why that date sounds so familiar, it happens to be the same date that Shanquella had died. Look at this tiny scribble you can see. So on October 28th is when their plane arrived in Cabo San Lucas. Or Cabo, I can't remember which one it is. At 1 a.m., that's when Anita was murdered. And sometime in the morning hours of 6 a.m. between 10 a.m., that's when Shanquella was murdered. Now my question to you guys is, do you think it's possible that Alysse or Alyssa, however you pronounce her name, knew that her sister had gotten murdered? Like, did she receive a call from her other sister? Is there any connection to the attack on Shanquella? Because that to me does not sound like a coincidence. I mean, and if it is, it's crazy, but I want to hear from you guys.
I was able to find footage and images from Anita's funeral after someone pointed this out on Facebook. Now let's pull up this Facebook post because that also didn't sit like, we were both kind of digging deep. Sherelle Hill over on Facebook says, y'all, I be deep into crime stuff. Like, I love First 48, Dateline, watching it right now, Forensic Files, Snapped, all of that. This should have been part of my career. Well, anyways, I was reading more into Shanquella case and found out that Alysse Hyatt, one of the girls on the trip who leaked the video. Now, they're saying Alysse leaked the video. I'm not sure how true that is. So allegedly. Her sister was shot and killed by her ex-boyfriend. They're saying it was an ex-boyfriend, not her current boyfriend. But I'm not sure. By her boyfriend at a hotel, 1028 at 1 a.m. Right? Anita Hyatt is her name. It was said that people still forced Alysse to go on this trip after the passing of her sister. Now, hours later on, October 29th, Alysse, I keep saying Alyssa because that's how she wrote it, but it's Alysse, participated in or helped cover up the death of Shanquella. Yes, I know people grieve differently, but geesh. Before anyone asks, yes, they are real sisters. I found old family photos and I dug so deep, I found the sister funeral on YouTube and Alysse was right there in the front row. That's wild. Now, I also dug deep immediately. Also, when she pointed that out, I started searching it up immediately. I found news stories about Anita Hyatt, and rest in peace to her. This is nothing, no grievances towards her. This is strictly about her sister Alysse, who was involved in leaving Shanquella in Mexico dead. I was able to find images and footage from the funeral, and this image right here was an aunt who posted it, and it was just like a bunch of photos, and someone had a birthday around the same time that the young lady passed. I believe it was October 30th. So someone had a birthday, and, family were just taking pictures, and they were, mourning and grieving on Facebook about Anita Hyatt. Now look at these two photos right here, because if I'm not mistaken, this is Alysse. Take a look at the features. Her eyes do look like, she cried it out. Of course, her sister passed away. But other than that, this looks like Alysse at the funeral of her, attending the funeral of her deceased sister. So, again, respect to that family. But we are just trying to make connections here. I don't know if it's just a strange coincidence. I don't know if it's related. But it's definitely something to be brought up. It's definitely something to examine a bit, Maybe Alysse didn't know before her flight that her sister passed away. Maybe she found out in Cabo that her sister passed away. We don't know. We don't know if she knew this information and went to Mexico anyway. And they're saying people forced her. Again, all of this is speculation. How do we know? Because if I find out my flight, let's say it's at 1 p.m. And I found out in the wee morning, wee hours of the morning, that my sibling had passed away. Nobody can force me to go to Mexico. Nobody. And if I found out while I was there, nobody can force me to not leave early. Right? So, I mean, you can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, regardless of if the villa had to be paid for, if your tickets were already paid for. F all of that. I'm going home to be with my loved ones. Like, it's that simple. So you can't force anybody to do something that they don't want to do. They're saying that they still, forced her to come on this trip. But I just thought that was a strange coincidence. She did sit first row. It just makes you wonder. Moving forward, let's address the rumors, myths, and more surrounding this tragedy here. There were rumors and people saying, zoom in on the nightstand, there's a prescription bottle, It's just a strange story going around on TikTok and social media about drug rumors and rumors of Shanquella, being with Khalil and Malik being jealous, or Nazeer being... It's just, who's making these things up? It's very tragic, and I would hate for a tragedy to strike someone else who's making up these rumors in the same form of fashion, and people to then make up these types of rumors about them. So I think before we speak, we should at least think in how would the people, who are experiencing this tragedy feel, who are hurting from this. Stop making up stuff on the internet. Again, that is a rumor, as far as I know. And Shanquella had a boyfriend, so we'll get into that later, though. Now, Malik, he posts a story saying that he goes on to say, good old Malik, well, let me not say good old. If you think for 1 second that I'll ever do something dumb or stupid to be away from my heartbeat, then you don't know me at all. And I'm assuming that was posted last Monday. But that was just something alleged, That was just him, I guess, saying something on social media about the whole thing. I'm not sure. There are rumors that $10,000 or $6,000 was stolen, and jewelry and personal items were missing from Shanquella's luggage. Again, rumors. Unless you guys have a source down below, unless the family member or members have spoken out, y'all, let's not spread these rumors around, okay? Image concerns. There were people who were wondering, well, oh my gosh, why would you post in my first podcast about this? Why would you post that video? I mean, that picture of her, she's basically nude. Show some respect to the family. Now, again, that was my first time covering the story. But upon watching the news clip, that picture of Shanquella, one of those pictures from that photo shoot where her hair is actually covering her breast and you see her pants and she's like in a kneeling position, that picture is on her mother's mantle, blown up, nice size. I think you guys are more worried about horror images and whole culture and things like that you can't appreciate a beautiful photo. That photo shoot was beautiful. She wasn't showing nipples and, any other type of vulgar, I guess, parts of the body, even though all of this is natural, right? We are natural beings, and people are so icky, and, people are so weird about the human body for some reason, even though we all have one. But that's neither here nor there. I chose those photos because she looked beautiful, period. I don't think she was, people speculating, oh, why those photos? Why did she dress like that? Was she over in Mexico? Look, don't speculate over a photo shoot, right? That's weird. Shanquella was an entrepreneur. I'm assuming that's how she made her money. Not doing anything else. So I can post a beautiful photo and it not be taken out of context. Again, this same photo is on her mother's mantle. If you watch the news clip, you will see that. Now, there's a lesson going around. People are using Shanquella's death, and I was guilty too of this. I was guilty of saying, watch out who your friends are. This is why everybody can't be trusted. You know, I talked to my girlfriend and I was like, yeah, that's why I don't like, a lot of people, and you can't trust people and this, that, and the third. I'm an introvert, and it's like, no, let's veer it back a little bit. Because if you are on terms with somebody where, let's go into Khalil Cooke really quickly. The mother said he took trips with the family. Her best friend took trips with the family, her alleged best friend. And you just sometimes wouldn't think, sometimes you're naive to think that your friend will put you in a situation like this. Your friend will be plotting on you in a situation like this, allegedly. So it's not always watch out who you call your friends. It's not always blame the victim for not knowing that these people had something up their sleeves potentially, or that this was going to happen to her. Things happen to us every day that we don't expect. And later on, we'll start to talk about, oh, there were some red flags. Oh, there were some context clues. Oh, I should have took that differently. That energy was off. I had a friend of freaking, it would have been 10 years this year if we wouldn't have fell off. And in year, 7, 5, one of those, we ended up having a physical altercation. And both of us had to get stitches because we got cut. So you never know things are going to happen until they happen. And unfortunately for Shanquella, this was at her demise, right? But she didn't know. If you listen to the video that I played earlier, she sounded excited for this trip. She seemed to love traveling. She didn't know that they had something like, what? And maybe, just maybe, what if she did have a clue? Maybe that's why she recorded that villa. Where are my friends? Where my hoe? Y'all get naked, hoes. It don't take that long to get naked. Maybe that's why she recorded them in that room, to leave behind some clues. Look, if some shit go down, these motherfuckers was in here plotting. You just don't know. And I don't know, all the speculation and all the lessons in this tragedy, I get it. And people always use viral moments for their lessons. But I do think two things can coexist. And I do think that maybe she just didn't think her close friend would allow anything like this to happen on a trip where she just expected to have fun and turn up. Right? That's just what I'm going to say there. All right? I get the lessons and I get all of that, but it's not always watch your friends. Somebody in my comments also commented on black crime. And I wanted to address that really quickly. Let me tell you this. Because they were saying like it would be more outrage if this was imagine the outrage if this was a white person and a black person ended up dead and this, that, and the third. Black on black crime, ain't it? And I'm like, look, as much as I wish we could protect our brothers and sisters and love each other and respect each other more, that's not always the case. But the black on black crime theory, myth, is really not to be used here. If you're a white person who grew up in a white neighborhood, the crimes within that neighborhood, probably 8 times out of 10 is amongst white people, against white people, right? So if you are a black person who grew up in a mostly or even 50% black area, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have black counterparts, black peers. So if a crime happens, it's probably going to be one of your peers. And you can say that for any other races and ethnicities as well. So let's leave the black on black crime myth out of my comment section. Now, and then people are also complaining, and I'm just trying to get through all these rumors really quickly. People are also complaining about the fight being recorded. And they're like, oh, those weren't men right there who watched that fight. And I wholeheartedly agree. If my best friend is being attacked, beat on brutally, and I have the power to stop it, or at least, if I'm there and I have the power to stop it, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to say Alysse fight back. I'm not going to pull out my phone and record. She doesn't want to fight. She's not throwing any punches. I'm stepping in. Look, you see this girl doesn't want to fight. I'm not now, I guess, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone, but I'm not now complaining about the fight even being out. Because guess what? Before that fight surfaced, this story was not getting nearly the amount of attention that it got once that fight surfaced. So I know you all, and we are all thankful that this came out, because now we know something. The mom and the dad already knew. The family knew something was up, right? With the whole alcohol poisoning story. The autopsy came back. That was put out. But this story went extremely viral when that fight video came out. So I am thankful. I regret everything that happened. I'm sad about everything that happened over there in Mexico to Shanquella. But I am thankful that the dummies actually recorded it, because now we see something did happen over there. Something did happen. So I'm not going to complain, because I know, and if you watch Nika at Night, she said the same thing. When people come together and you are with ratchet people or people who like to fight and people who are all about the drama, there has been many instances where cameras were pulled out. Fights, people being attacked, cops attacking people, fights in the street, as I already said, dead bodies, people being murdered, gunshots ringing out on camera, people being robbed. We are in the era, we are in the generation of technology, and everything is a viral moment to pull out your phone. And now, granted, like I said, if I'm with my friends and people I call my friends, would I pull out my phone? No. But they did. They were dumb enough to do so. And we're thankful, because this escalated this case and this made it go worldwide. Now, the last thing I want to address surrounding this, I have two more things, but this thing here, allegedly Nazeer Wiggins assaulted someone in high school. I don't know what this has to do with the story, but it did come out. Rihanna, is that how you say her name? Or Rihanna? I'm gonna say Rihanna. She said Nazeer Wiggins was my rapist in high school. Nobody believed me. Now, years later, he's wanted for participating in the murder of a black woman. Believe us the first time. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Nazeer is said to have posted this on his story, I believe, and said, believe what you want, I'm not clearing up a thing. Now, that is the Nas Did It account, and I'm not sure if that's his, because I think his is like, I been did it, but he had to make multiple accounts after this all happened. I think because people were reporting him. Yeah, I think that's what happened there. Now, two last things to address here. There was a video of course, the fight video where Daejhanae was assaulting Shanquella, and people were like, Daejhanae is a trans woman. I have no clue how that came about, who said that. Maybe it was her features. I'm not sure. You know, people take things and they run with it, right? So T.S. Madison, who is an openly transgender woman, came out and tweeted, that was one of yours. And I felt like that was interesting because, like I said, which one is it? Do transgender women want, and I'm being respectful, in my comments, don't come here talking about I'm transphobic, homophobic, or anything like that, because I am a bisexual woman. I am currently in a relationship with a woman going on 2 years. So it has nothing to do with any type of phobic. But T.S. Madison tweeted, now, why would someone even start that kind of lie on a trans person and you people immediately believe that bogus shit? That was not true. No transgender woman beat Shanquella Robinson to death. It was one of her own, in capital letters. You people ran with that lie. And then she has, I guess, the mind blown emoji. Again, what does she mean by one of her own? One of yours. That was one of yours. I don't know. She said, y'all are so funny. So now all of a sudden today you've started accepting trans women as women? It's the pick and choose what I say that offends you from me. From what I recall, this society has been very accepting of trans women. Do I know the struggles they have faced? Absolutely. Trans women and trans men. I know. However, there have been milestones. There has been more publicity, more opportunities. There has been red carpets. There have been Women or Woman of the Year awards granted to trans women. There has been laws put into place protecting trans women. Even now there's I want to say this is in California, and this is something coming up now. I don't know if the bill went into place yet or if it's still being worked on, where trans people, if you identify as transgender, you can be compensated, because due to the past struggles and things like that for you all, there's now checks being, like something like a stimulus check, right? Checks out there. There's now checks being issued out. I think it's around $1,200 a month for up to 18 months. Now, does that make up for everything that you all have been through? No, but I do think that showcases that doors are being opened for trans women. And she said, oh, so now you're accepting trans women as women. And it's like, furthermore, as someone said, is this the time to debate this? Is this really around the death of Shanquella Robinson, around something so tragic? Now y'all want to debate trans wars again? I know. Two things can coexist at once. But there doesn't need to be a trans versus, I guess, quote unquote, cis war right now. This is not the time. And lastly, you have idiots on social media making hateful tweets and posts saying, I'm glad my friends know they can't beat me in or out the country, with the laughing emojis. This is very weird. This is very weird energy, and people do anything for a few likes and retweets. And almost 14,000 people like that. That is disgusting. Make light of, to make fun of, to kiki about someone's death in this manner at this moment is horrible. She goes on to say, I don't give a F if y'all think it's funny or not. Get off my page. For one, I didn't say it. For two, my friends under the post laughing because it's funny. Ain't nothing weird about this. Get out y'all feelings. It is weird. And then she goes on to say, it's not in this photo, but she went on to say, this, she passed away. Oh, in October. It's November. It happened like a month ago. It wasn't a month ago. And furthermore, you made this tweet on 11/18. Shanquella was buried on 11/19. Okay? That young lady was just buried by her family, and you're making tasteless, classless, tacky jokes like this on social media. And regardless of whether Shanquella was a fighter or not, it is said that multiple people there contributed to this. Now, you can think you're Mrs. Tough Gal all you want, right? You can make jokes and kiki. But if something happened like this, where multiple people contributed in your demise, multiple people turned on you and didn't have your best interest at heart, and let this happen to you, I think you would think differently. I think you would feel differently. Let's be respectful. That's all I have to say there. Shanquella was laid to rest on November 19th, this past Saturday. Her boyfriend did share, well, someone, I don't know if the boyfriend actually shared it, but there were pictures of Shanquella and videos of her and her boyfriend. And it's just, I'll go ahead and show you guys that while I'm talking. But oddly enough, Shanquella, when I screenshotted her page for the first time when I covered this story, she had around 30,000 followers. She is sitting around 80 something thousand now. Like, people, over 50,000 people have followed her after her death. Her comments have went crazy. And I'm just like, I don't want to say it's weird. I get it, but I don't. You know, for me on social media, I've had people who passed away. Now, I don't unfollow them, but I don't go run and follow someone who I know is deceased. It's just strange, you know, very, very strange. But we are hoping for justice in this case. You know, rest in peace to Shanquella. People are out here fighting for you, girl. People out here fighting for you. This story, from the first time I heard it, just didn't sit right with my soul, my spirit, with anything. And I just felt like, because I have any type of voice, right? I am an influencer here on social media, and I was just like, I want to talk about this story. Typically on my podcast, I wanted to talk about love and life and, you know, celebrity gossip, but this just had to be talked about. I had to talk about this story. It had to be out there, and I hope that I was able to make your story go a little more viral. Make people more aware about what happened. Try to put out as much facts as I could. And I hope I was able to help in any type of way. And I want to thank you all for joining. And I would like to hear your feedback down below. Thank you for joining the Delicate Dynamic. This is Daejhanae White, and I will see you in the next episode.